What's up, nerds? Happy St. Patty's Day, and if you are like me, you are celebrating indoors due to the pandemic. But you know what? I am not gonna let that interfere with one of my most favorite holidays. I am decked out, I got my green on, I got my shamrocks in, got my shamrocks and beer shades, got my green and gold eyeshadow. So yeah, I'm not going out. Well, I did have to go out this morning to see if I could find meat. Unfortunately, I am one of those people that I grocery shop once a week and I plan out ahead what I'm gonna cook, and I only buy what I'm going to cook. Therefore, we do not have any wasted food, and then there's no extra junk in the house for us to, so my husband can attempt to try and stick to his diet. So what happened is I normally go on Fridays. I went this past Friday. All of the folks who went into a panic and bought everything, who bought everything in sight. So when I got to the store, there was no milk, no eggs, no bread of any kind, no paper products of any kind, no meat. I did try a couple of other stores, no meat, no water. So I unfortunately, while I would love to social distance and self-quarantine and all that, unfortunately I had to go out today to try and get some food so that we can eat. So I did run by Publix and bought like 4 packs of hamburger meat and some sausage. There was still no water. I didn't go on the paper products aisle because I got plenty of that stuff. So I hope this passes soon and people just go and buy what they need and not buy all this stuff. And I do understand that people are going to, do the whole panic thing and buy everything they think they're gonna need for 6 months. So that's fine. So you should not be in stores for 6 months, and stores should not let you return all the items you bought in bulk. That's my opinion. You want to buy it in bulk and buy everything on the shelf? Cool, but you shouldn't be allowed to return it either. Today is Tuesday. I did not vlog yesterday because my husband, you might notice I have a much larger microphone. He bought me a wireless microphone this weekend, and so I was charging all that, learning how to use it, and he said when I vlog and I'm just using my phone on the fly with no mic, it sounds really terrible. So I wanted to get that charged up and learn how to use that. It's also my washing day. I wash all of my sheets and bedding. I wash all of my pup's snuggle blankets, and I just try to get it all done in one day so the house is only overheated one day. So it makes my washer and dryer make a lot of racket, and so it wouldn't be very fun for y'all to listen to that. Here's what happened. So I did finish Stormfront by Jim Butcher. I kind of had a little giddy up and go in my step to get this one done yesterday, but the joke was on me because I rushed needlessly. I made a mistake. So when I'm eating breakfast, when I'm cooking my breakfast and eating breakfast, fixing lunch, eating lunch, cooking dinner, all that jazz, I've always got my laptop sitting over there on the counter so that I can catch up with all my BookTube friends and see what you all have put out. So I think it was lunch yesterday. I was eating lunch and I saw that one of my favorite BookTubers, as y'all know, is Michael Nip. He uploaded, and he read the second book of the series of Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings, and A Way of Kings was his favorite book. He read the second one and he said he wasn't sure, but he thought that one may have usurped A Way of Kings. And that really just got my curiosity piqued. Y'all know I've been talking about it. One point in the video, he's like, all right, if you haven't read A Way of Kings, you need to stop. And it's just unacceptable to me when I cannot watch my favorite booktubers full video. So I was really not wanting to buy another book this month because I got so many for my birthday, and I was gonna go by my library last week and pick it up when I finished the book I was reading that day, but before I could get there, my library emailed me and was like, hey, we're closing due to the virus scare. And I was like, crap. I was like, no. I was like, you know, I can't be upset. I have such a huge stack of books to read. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put it out of my mind. But then Nip put that video up and I was like, okay, that's it. I've had it. I've literally had it. So I got on Amazon right then. I had not even finished his video. Got on Amazon and I ordered just the mass market paperback. And I thought it said that it was going to arrive by 10 p.m. last night. And I just got off that video and I went back to Stormfront. I was like, I've got less than 100 pages. I'm gonna wipe this sucker out. And so I will be prepared when A Way of Kings arrives. So I was like checking my front door, checking my front door, checking my front door. And finally I was like, you know, maybe I should look at that email again. I looked at that email, it said 10 p.m. on Thursday. Oh, I almost fell. I was so disappointed. And not only that, I was disappointed because I was like, I'm not gonna start another book because I'm gonna just delve into A Way of Kings. I popped on Netflix and I was gonna continue watching Castlevania. That didn't interest me for some reason. I watched one, I was like, you know, I'm not feeling it. And so I remembered there was, In Somerhalder had a new series called, I think, V-Wars. I was like, well, I'll try that. And if I had not seen him in Vampire Diaries, if V-Wars was the first thing I ever saw him act on, I would accuse him of not knowing how to act. I know he can act and he can do an amazing job. I'm guessing the producer of the show is the one who had him act the way he did in V-Wars, but it was terrible. It was like he didn't know how to act. So I can't stay interested in something where it looks like the actors have no idea what they're doing. Just kind of like when the Shadowhunters had that show, when they came out with the Shadowhunter show, all of the cast looked just like I would imagine those actors, and just like I would imagine Clary, Jace, Alex, Magnus. That's exactly how I would imagine them to look. But all of those people were terrible actors. And Clary, the girl who played Clary, was the worst. Then I was like, all right, I'm not feeling this either. So I browsed around and I was just kind of letting the little ads play on each one, and I came across one called On the Block. And it looked like it was a comedy, like a little teenage comedy. And so I gave that one a try and I was cracking up. I've only watched the first episode. I wanted my husband to watch it because I think he would like it as well and we could watch it together. That show was hilarious, so I hope they keep that same energy going. About the time I watched one of those, it was about time for my husband to come home from work, so we hung out together and spent some time together last night. So I didn't read anything last night. All I did was finish Stormfront by Jim Butcher. So as I've mentioned previously on vlogs, on my previous videos, I am rereading all 15 books that are currently out before the next one comes out, Peace Talks, which is coming out July, I believe it's July 14th. I pre-ordered it, so it's just gonna show up at my front door, but I thought, you know what? I wanted to read this series again, and I thought this was the perfect time to do so. In mentioning Peace Talks, so they did film a trailer premiere, and it was supposed to be, I believe it was supposed to be at Emerald City Comic Con, but they canceled that due to trying to flatten the curve for the pandemic. So it has been rescheduled. It is now going to be shown at Planet Comic Con in Kansas City this weekend, March 20th through 22nd. So I know this vlog is going to go up after that. I will tweet about it, but it will most likely be available online. So if you don't get to watch it live, I'm sure it's going to be online that you can go and search it and watch it and see what you think. So another thing I got in the mail yesterday is I got a signed by the author copy of To Guard with Love. I believe this review went up last Monday, and the author was so sweet and she sent me a signed copy so that I could have as a gift. And then I had also, received this right after I did my birthday book haul, but this is another signed copy. I did purchase this one. I did not want anybody thinking I was posting reviews because I got free books, but I did receive this one, a signed copy of Blind Sympathy. So I am super proud to have these in my collection because these are my first books I've ever read by an independent author, and it's because she found me and asked me if I would read Blind Sympathy and see what I thought. Like, she did not ask me to do a review. I asked her, I was like, well, hey, I would love to do this for you. Would you mind if I made a video? She didn't have to see the video first or anything like that. So I was not paid to do that. I want y'all to know that was my honest opinions. But since we're talking about her, I'm really excited because she has a book called An Unconventional Family. I was going to buy it, and she happened to message me one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you messaged me. I'm sitting here right now putting An Unconventional Family in my cart to buy. And she said, no, wait, don't buy it now. I'm gonna release a second edition on April 3rd. And then the sequel to it comes out on April 17th. So I'm really stoked. So she did ask me if she could send me To Guard with Love as a gift, and I said sure, on the condition that you don't send me An Unconventional Family and An Unbreakable Family, which is the sequel. I was like, I want to buy those. It is so important to support our authors. So if you have an author and you love them, the way to keep getting content that you enjoy from them is to support them. So I want to give her money because I want more from her. Okay, so those are just a couple little fun things I had. I am now about to start a little late. I really wanted to start this earlier, but I had to run a couple of errands. So now, since it's March 17th, it is St. Patty's Day, I'm gonna do a little mini readathon. I picked this book, Round Ireland with a Fridge by Tony Hawks. This book is hilarious. So I'm going to read this one. It's about 250 pages. It shouldn't take long. I wanna get this one taken care of today. I just wanna have fun since we're all stuck at home. If you want something lighthearted and hilarious while you're at home, this book is a phenomenal choice for that. How I came to find out about this book, I was at a coffee shop one morning with my best friend before work, and we were just sitting there, you know, chit-chatting with each other, and this guy was sitting at a table by himself, and he kept laughing out loud. And he just kept doing it, and we were like, there's something wrong with this guy, like, is he high? And so finally I couldn't stand it anymore. I'm like, what is so funny? And he holds up this book. He said, this book is hilarious. He said, I'm sorry, I can't help it, but it's cracking me up. So I have read this before. It has probably been 20 years since I read it. So I'm looking forward to a reread. But what it is are two friends are drunk in a bar and they make a bet. And the one that loses the bet has to walk, that's the important thing. He has to walk around the entire country of Ireland carrying a mini fridge. And so this book is about his journey as he does that. I hereby bet Tony Hawks the sum of 100 pounds that he cannot hitchhike round the circumference of Ireland with the fridge within 1 calendar month. Also, I apologize. Both of my pups are over here, and one of them is licking quite loudly his paw, and the other one's snoring. See if I can get Milo and Bandit, my faithful reading companions. Bandit is the one that you always hear snoring. If you ever hear heavy breathing in my videos, that would be Bandit. He's always snoring, and so when I'm editing, I don't usually realize that it's recorded snoring that I'm hearing because he's always in my lap, so I'm thinking he's just currently in my lap snoring, so he probably is. But at any rate, without further ado, I'm going to get into reading Round Ireland with a Fridge. If I've finished quickly enough, I believe I would like to go ahead and start on Abandoned by Liz Ann Harris. She is, and I hope I pronounced her name correctly, she's another independent writer, emailed me and said that she had a book she thought I'd be interested in. And it is a paranormal book, and I was 100% interested. I love the paranormal. I have been fascinated by that since I was a child. I have gone ghost hunting and taken all the ghost tours in New Orleans and the graveyard tours. Unfortunately, I still haven't come into any contact with anything cool, although I really can't be mad about it because I probably just have heart failure. Especially considering how scared I still am of the bent neck lady from The Haunting of Hill House. My goal was everything today that I ate or drank was supposed to be green for St. Patty's Day, but since everybody kind of bought everything off the shelves, I did the best I could. So, all right, I gotta get rid of my cool shades because I'm over 40 and have to wear glasses. I have to get rid of my cool shades for my reading specs. And I don't ever read my books with the dust jacket on, even though I did buy this one used off eBay, and it's in really good condition for the age of the book, but it's got a little love, and it shows a little loving on here, but I'm gonna try to prevent any more loving showing. I got my iPad out here so I can take notes. Okay, it is Friday, March 20th. I did not update yesterday because so Thursdays at my house is the day that I reserve for cleaning, and I did not want to clean. All I wanted to do yesterday was sit down and read The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. So I did get through with my cleaning, and I got about 120 pages knocked out. Chunky. This is probably the largest book. Sorry, man, I saved you. I saved your life. Your mama loves you. This is probably the thickest book I have read in quite a long time. Like the last time I remember reading a book over 1,000 pages, it was Gone with the Wind in high school. However, so it is a little daunting when you're 170 pages in and you're used to seeing your bookmark like way on up in there, and it's like barely in there. Like updated Goodreads, it's like, oh, you're 11% of the way through, and I'm like, whew. But I will say this, it is a thick book, and I was a little concerned that I was going to feel the same way about it as I did with Terry Brooks, but I don't. I'm 170 pages in, I ain't sweating it. I'm enjoying it. It is interesting. It's not doing there's not a whole bunch of words in here. There's not a whole bunch of pages in there filled with stuff that I could have done without. So it is written very well. It's a fast read, but I'll also say I'm not sure what it's about yet. Pretty much, I've got a little bit of tidbits that happened, thousands of years prior to when this picks up. But so far, I've really only met two of what are possibly the main characters. So we're getting a little bit of it's getting some setup in there, a lot of world building. I am fascinated with what are called Spren. I'll keep you posted, but so far so good. I can't remember if I mentioned, but I did complete Stormfront, and as soon as I finish I keep calling it Away, it is The Way. As soon as I finish The Way of Kings, I'm probably gonna pop in and get the second Dresden book knocked out, just because. I mean, and they're little books, so you can knock them out in 5 hours or so. So I'll probably knock another one out. We'll see how that goes. But let's see, so I finished Stormfront this week. I finished Abandoned by Levi Harris. Lisanne or Lisanne, I'm not sure. Stormfront, my spoiler-free review on Stormfront should be up abandoned spoiler-free review, I think, will be next week. But that's where I'm at for now. I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. At any rate, that is my update for now. I will check back in with you guys later.